So this case with Principal Life was very interesting because of the fact that they took a unique interpretation on the any occupation definition. Now, we talk all the time that one of the most common stages in which a claim gets denied is when the person's definition of disability switches from the own occupation, the inability to do what they were doing at the time they became disabled, to
Right.
any gainful occupation. And the any gainful occupation is often defined differently from one policy to the other. So
Correct.
in this case against Principal, which was overturned by the federal judge in the state of Washington, which was a victory for this claimant, talk a little bit about what was wrong with this claimant, why Principal denied their claim, and then what the outcome was.
Okay. Well, this is a case about a truck driver who had back injuries and couldn't drive a truck anymore. And Principal paid him for a couple years because he couldn't do his own occupation. He couldn't drive his truck. Well, when the change of definition came about from own occupation to any occupation, Principal did their review, and they determined that there were several jobs that this previous truck driver could do that would make him a certain amount of money so that he actually didn't qualify for the benefits anymore. So instead of being a truck driver, they determined that he could do some sedentary desk jobs. Well, the plaintiff argued that this was incorrect, that the definition of any gainful occupation under the policy stated that a gainful occupation meant that you would be able to earn equal to or greater than the income that you were currently earning as a truck driver. And Principal interpreted that definition to mean that, well, it doesn't have to be today that he could earn equal to or greater than that amount of money. It could be sometime in the future. Well, the judge disagreed. The judge considered that that was an ambiguous definition in the policy, and when there's an ambiguous definition that can be interpreted in several ways, it is always interpreted in favor of the plaintiff, the claimant. So the judge said, no, we are not going to take the definition as interpreted by Principal. We're going to say if he could not earn that amount of money today, if he got the job today, then he does not qualify for any of those jobs, and therefore he's still disabled.
So what's unique about this definition of any occupation is that it had what's called an income qualifier.
Right.
Meaning that this particular claimant had to be able to make X amount of dollars, otherwise he's considered disabled. And most any occupation definitions of disability don't have an income qualifier. Like Social Security disability doesn't have an income qualifier, and
Right.
most of the other policies we see don't have that. So that's a much better definition of any occupation for a claimant that this person got in this Principal policy. So it was good policy language, but Principal didn't want to uphold it, and they wanted to try to interpret it in a light most favorable to them, thereby screwing the claimant out of the benefit.
Correct.
So fortunately, this Washington judge interpreted it in favor of the claimant, and benefits were thereby approved to this particular claimant. So great victory against Principal once again. Don't see a ton of litigated cases against Principal, but in this one I think they wanted to take a shot at it because it would have helped them with many, many other claims that they could deny under the same basis.
Sure.
And fortunately, they won't have this argument to make. If you have a claim with Principal, feel free to call Rachel. Any of our long-term disability attorneys can help you with either Principal or any long-term disability company. We will review your claim right away, and we will let you know immediately whether or not we can assist you.